Being sickle for years have been associated with being sickly. And of course, there is something like being almost sickle. And in this derivative, we have the SC, or what some people call the CS derivative. What we're used to is talking about the SS genotype, but the reason of the type. And so I have Oluwabusayomi, who's going to be sharing with us today what it means to be almost sickle. And yes, the term almost sickle might just be a word that I coined for thinking of the genotype SC or CS as being almost, but not sickle. Is it not? Is it? Come along with me. Hello, Busayo.
Hi, Lily.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm great, thank you. So you've been my friend on Facebook
Yes, ma'am.
for barely a year. Is it up to a year?
Yes.
Interesting. And I didn't take note of you until it was World Sickle Cell Day.
Yes.
And then you made a very long poem about sickle cell. I didn't know if you were sickle, if you were almost sickle, or if you were half sickle, or if you were not sickle. All right, but all I knew was you couldn't put that up if you didn't have an experience, or at least know somebody who's had an experience of that.
I'm Oluwabusayomi Mercy Adekoya, a graduate of Lagos State University. I realized that I am a sickle cell patient when I was in primary school, I think primary 4, or close to that. I have been living with this, although I am not an SS, like I am CS, and we are not much, like we are rare, because as our pains are severe, we don't really go through pains, and most times if I tell people that I am sickle cell, they don't believe. But after telling them, the treatment I get from them most times, oh, it's horrible. That was why I wrote a poem. And it said, to celebrate the World Sickle Cell Day. Being a CS, it has only been good because there have been times whereby I couldn't make it to school, I couldn't make it to church or some activities. I was even left out in some cases to do some stuffs, like maybe if I am to run. Okay, I can remember when I was in secondary school, growing up, I don't participate in that sport because they would be like, no, Busayo, no. Because when I got to know that I'm a sickle cell patient, everybody started stigmatizing me. I couldn't even do anything so big. Anytime I'm not feeling fine, you get to see everybody rushing close to me, and I don't like it. I'll be like, oh, I'm just fine, I'm good. No, we just really want to take care of you and stuff like that. It has not been easy, but it's been good.
So you missed out on all the inter-house sports?
Yes.
How do you think you can catch up?
I just participate with maybe clapping, watching them. Even if they are to dance, I'm not always among them.
Even cheerleading?
Yes, because they'll be like, I can't do it.
Did you ever ask them why you couldn't do it?
They said just because of my genotype, and then they don't want something that will lead to my sickness or whatever.
Did you feel cheated?
Yes, even up till now.
So what did you say to?
Nobody. I just have to keep it to myself and then pray. But there's one thing I know that I have been doing, and it's still helping me. God has given me the talent to sing, and then I started that when I was when I was in SS1. So since then and up till now, I think that's the only thing I have been doing constantly, and thank God.
Thank you so very much for sharing this. So it's a lot, and you are different, and that's what I am celebrating. The fact that you're different, it is a life you didn't negotiate, you didn't bargain, and you met yourself, you are almost sickle. So because you said something about not falling sick like that and not having pains when you fall sick.
Yes.
I have friends and a host of family members and near family members who are sickle. And I know that it isn't funny what they go through. Now, when we're now saying you're not sickle, you're almost sickle, and you're still getting the treatment of being sickle, in the end, I am classifying everything together. Because SC, like a doctor explained to me once, says if the sickle, the normal farm implement, sickle, is supposed to be like this sickle, the C is just a bit, not very. So in turn, it helps with the flow of blood a lot more than in a complete SS. Now, having said that, I really want to break it down to the fact that you're a woman. And this must have also impacted other aspects of your life beyond the inter-house sports. I mean, I loved inter-house sports, but I was too lazy to do anything inter-house sports. Except, I think I marched once, but I'm not sure how the march past went. Apparently, my house didn't win. So, going forward, how has this impacted on your relationships? Both of your relationships with women and with men.
Okay, with women. Okay, I have friends that once I'm sick, they are ready to help and they get to understand. And then, but every relationship with a girl, there's something, I don't know how to put it. They would always want you to do everything, even if you are sick. But to some extent, I've been able to get by. My relationship with men so far, since I started dating, I have 2 relationships that I had to let go because of their gender type. And it is always the first question I ask before going into any relationship. I take it, I used to ask that kind of questions because I don't want to go through, although I'm not this SS, my sickness are not always like
Intense,
other people,
yes.
But I really want to take care of myself and make sure none of my children is going to go through the pain I have gone through. And make sure none. And relating with people also, I avoid it when people try to ask me, are you self-patient? And I'll be like, I don't know, but I'm fine. You don't really, but there's this special thing in our eyes. Okay, or the deformities might be in your teeth, your stomach, your hands, your legs, or your eyes, but mine is in my eye. Whenever they get to see me, I'll be ashamed of myself because I don't want anybody to know. I don't want them to know.
You still don't want them to know?
I still don't want them to know.
But you can't hide it.
But thank God, that I'm still like, I don't know. I don't really want them to know that I'm a sickle cell patient. But there's this deformity that we all have, either SS, SC, SB. There's this deformity that would always make them know that you're a sickle cell patient.
Have these people walk up to you before?
Yes.
By virtue of maybe how you look, you're not so fleshy,
yes,
and all of that.
Recently, when I went to school for my clearance, a man just walked up to me trying to, there's this way Yoruba people used to check the eyelid. So he was trying to do that, and my friend was there, and she was like, just calm down.
Did you allow him to check your eyes?
I allowed because he was an old man.
Why would you allow that?
But after that, it was like, you are taking care of yourself and taking your job. I was like, I'm fine, sir. I'm very well. I'm okay. So
but I think that's going too far, don't you think?
Yes, that is what I want. That is part of the reason why I wrote the poem. Because after saying that, he was not even conscious that we were in a very large gathering. He was not conscious that, this girl might be someone...
Embarrassed?
Yes, she might feel embarrassed about it. So, but I just had to allow him.
So that peace could reign and they left.
Yes.
Alright, so this is your life. Your very gorgeous life. Your amazing gift from God. What do you intend to make of it?
I intend to make a very great and a big story out of my story. I want one thing I would always want to tell every sickle cell patient is that never give up on yourself because there's this stigmatization. Apart from this stigmatization, there's this thing that they have is like I'm an SS, I can't do this. I hate that word because once you start thinking that you can't do it, then you can't do it, and people start pitying you. That's like the biggest danger in life. If you don't allow them pity you, then you can make it. There are some stuff I've been doing. Okay, I have been in apart from school, I've been into selling. Apart from that, I once went for a catering school training, but I saw that I couldn't go through it because of the stress and everything. So I had to let it go. But now I'm into another thing. I'm training myself to become a very good fashion designer. And if I tell people that I am doing this and they'll be like, how are you coping? I said, I need to break the box. I need to come out of the box and then do what I think I am capable of so that people won't just look at me and pity me. Because I don't want to be pitied by anybody. I want to strive hard to make a better place for me, myself, and my kids. I don't want them to go through the kind of problems or whatever that I have been through. But I really want to have a better life and lay a very good example for people that are coming after me.
I want to ask about your relationship with your family, your immediate family. So your siblings, do they treat you like a sickler? Your mom, what's your relationship with her?
I can't say she treats me like a sickler, but she always wants to bring the best out of me. She will tell you the fact that you're a sickle cell does not mean you can't do this. Why don't you give it a try? Then if you can't, then you know that okay, maybe you will have more effort to it, or you just try to be the best out of nothing. And my sister, she has never looked at me like a sickle cell.
So you're not being treated differently, like, hey,
No.
don't let her, hey.
Okay, in some cases, we don't do what others do. Like, we don't do most of the house chores. We don't fetch water. That's number one, because when we start lifting something that is heavier than us, the pains then come. And I've started to reduce the kind of work I do too, so that I don't feel pain. Most times when I do the house chores, when I sweep, when I fetch water and wash clothes, my mom will know that okay, today you're going to have crisis. So this one you don't have anything.
Can you describe what the crisis is like? What is a crisis? So in being sickle, how do we know this is a cycle?
Most of the crises, most times, it happens with the hand. That is when the red blood cells, it's a very small, it looks like a disco. The blood is not able to flow well. So maybe there's a blockage. It might happen due to some of the things you have eaten. So the blood won't flow, then you get to have pain at your back, your hands, your leg, even your stomach to some extent. And then there's this thing that is common within you as a CS. I used to have a high temperature, no matter what. No matter how cold the day may be, no matter how long I've been in the AC, I'm still going to have this high temperature.
But in all these stories, what I want to ask is, do you have fears?
No. As a lady, we have our monthly flow. I'm a lady that likes eating junks. I eat a lot of junks. And when I was small, I used to hear that if you take a lot of junks, your menstruation period, your blood there, it will flow for like 10 days. But since I've gained the age of puberty. My menstruation does not come like every other. So I made an inquiry about that. I went to see my doctor and he said it's fine.
It doesn't come every month?
Not like it doesn't come, but it comes maybe like 2 days.
Okay.
2 days, 3 days. Even the 3 days say okay, if I just see it, I'll just be happy that okay, you are still coming, thank God. So I went to see the doctor and he was like, it's nothing, but I still have that little fear. I'm sorry.
Quiet.
That little
So fear, pay, come on, in the future. I now want to born baby.
That's the only fear I have. Apart from that, I don't have any other fear. Because I think with God, I can do anything.
20 years from now, what do you see?
I see a better person. I see a stronger warrior. I see a courageous lady. And then mother of all nations. Not really my own kids, but I want to be a mother to everybody. So sickle cell out there, I want to be able to take care of them, enlighten them that they can do better, and then they should stop limiting themselves. Because this is like what most of them have in mind now. Once you just tell them, your genotype is SS, so like, oh, so I can't even do most of what my friends are doing. So let me just stop here. I know, I see somebody that is pushing our generation forward. I see a lot.
Thank you. So you have said earlier that you just want to shatter the box.
Yes.
You're not in the box.
Yes.
You want to recreate your world. But we also need to take some steps backward and go, say, 18 years ago, up until now. Can you help me retrace the in-betweens again? You've lived a beautiful 22 years.
18 years ago, up until now, I've been lazy, let me put it that way. Because I just started seeing myself that I can really go a long way. I can break the box, that I can break the limits and then be a wonderful lady, even without putting myself on some skills that I've like, I can't do this. No. For my last 18 years, the past 18 years has been horrible. I used to look down on myself that I can't do it, that I'm weak, I'm not strong enough, but no.
Thank you very much. So I want to ask about self-esteem issues, self-confidence. I want to ask about living every day a warrior. How have you been doing it?
Living every day a warrior. It's been God. At first, I used to have this low self-esteem. But I started reading books. I started talking to people, and then the courage came on, and since then has been God. Let me just say God.
Is there a community that you belong to? Maybe a community of other sickle cell people?
Navana Initiative.
Mm.
And then I've been able, I went for an outreach last year. We carried out a genotype test and we did a talk on creating the awareness that our parents should always try to check their genotype before choosing a partner. That's the most important thing. And we are trying to build the better person in us. We are trying to encourage ourselves and then praying to God and then doing God's will.
So some people have said there is divine healing for such genotype as SS and all of this. Do you believe that?
I believe.
Are you looking forward to something like that?
Yes. I can say I have received the healing because most times I don't believe that I'm a sickle cell. No, when people come and be like, I should be a sickle cell, why are you doing it? I say I'm not. It's just like a paper, whatever. I am not. I'm just among them, really like that. I'm not.
Okay, now let me ask. Did you feel any animosity towards your parents?
No.
did you do it? I know a couple of people that do.
Because I can see they were ignorant. They didn't know that this was supposed to. Although my dad is educated, but I don't know what happened. Sure. So
Are they in love?
yeah, maybe. I really don't blame them, because if you keep blaming people for your shortcomings, then you can never move forward. Just let go of the past and then try a better way, and things will get better.
Thank you very much, Oluwabu Sayomi.
You're welcome.
And I so very much love to personalize that. I can tell, but I just know that it gives deeper meaning when I call your name like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you've been able to share a lot of stories today, and you've uplifted my spirit as well. And I am hoping that we can look beyond what's keeping us back to literally forge and allow the butterfly to come out of the cocoon, so that we can show that beauty and share it with the rest of the world.
To every warriors out there, your cup of tea is for you to be courageous, be strong, believe in yourself, and strive hard no matter what. Things will get better, and believe in God. That's the most important thing. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you too. Thank you for coming on My Cup of Tea. That's the show today. Thank you for being a part of My Cup of Tea. Oluwabu Sayomi has shared with us the beautiful walk that makes up her life, the lows and the highs, and how she's been able to live as a warrior through the 22 years of her life. I hope that you and I will allow for stigmatization to rest, so that they can live a full life. My name is Melanie Ishola.